Hello, my name is Josh Enkel. Welcome to my presentation on how I have developed as a critical reader over the past semester in experiencing literature. So, for reader responses, over the course of English 201, the use of reader responses have been consistent with the reading of short stories and poems. As a student, I had to respond to numerous texts, but the one reader response that stood out to me was the one for The Cask of Amontillado, which can be seen towards the bottom left of the slide. After the first read, the story was intriguing, but it wasn't until the second read where I was able to pick up on the irony. The ability for me to pick up on the irony of the story was huge because it gives deeper meaning to the meaning behind it. Overall, reader responses allowed me to conduct close reading and to respond to aspects of the short stories and poems that I wouldn't normally do. Observation of myself as a critical reader and reading strategies that I used. While reading the short story, The Things They Carried by Tim O'Brien, critically reading the text was essential. O'Brien used many techniques to display certain feelings or ideas to the soldiers in a unique way. The biggest reading strategy that helped when reading this short story was definitely rereading. An example of when I discovered something that I didn't the first time was when it said, "He would shut down the daydreams." This was not Mount Sebastian. Having known that his significant other, Martha, went to Mount Sebastian, it allowed me to understand that he had to stop thinking about her. This because it would affect him during the war. Using this reading strategy along with others has allowed me to break down text and really understand all of the elements used by Tim O'Brien and the things they carried, as well as other short stories throughout this course. The digital tool that was the most useful and impactful was definitely Blogger. In this class, we used the Google tool Blogger to create a blog about our independent reading books that we were able to choose. The book that I chose to read was Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. One blog that I created was the characterization of an important character in the novel named Stradlater, which can be seen in the bottom right of the slide. After conducting the blog post and finding supporting information, it made me realize how much I knew about the character. This tool turned out to be a great way to understand the purpose of characters and why they are the way they are in each story. And I wish that I would be able to use this tool and probably will in future classes when reading novels or short stories. The connection of this course to another course, along with the challenge that I had to overcome. The connection I made between this class and how I use critical thinking was with the class Art of Thinking. Although these are very different classes, both require critical thinking. Taking both of these classes together has developed my sense of critically thinking not only with books but with real life. The challenge that I had to face over this semester was really investing myself in a story. Similar to other people in my generation, reading is not my favorite thing to do in my free time. And this class forced me to find hidden meanings in text or to find key elements that are not easily seen the first time reading the text. In order to achieve these things, you must fully invest yourself into the story and pick apart each important piece. And without being able to fully invest yourself, you will not be able to do these things. So that was definitely the challenge that I had to overcome throughout English 201. And the final slide, my aha moment. The aha moment that I experienced in this class was toward the end of the semester when reading Hills Like White Elephants. Previous to this class, I read this story back in high school around my junior year. Back then, I was able to identify the underlying theme of pregnancy and whether or not the woman should have had an abortion. But the second time reading it was with this class, and I was able to pick up so much more. The big idea where it hit me was when I put little pieces together to predict that a big event had occurred. Throughout the entire story, the opposite side of the tracks were much better than the other side, where the woman and man were sitting, meaning that the hills and just the overall environment was a lot prettier and better than where they were. So when the man took their luggage and brought it to the other side of the tracks, I thought that this signified that either the abortion happened or not, but overall that they made a decision. After adding this thought to the discussion that we were having during class, I was astounded by my ability to discover this, and that was when I knew that I had changed to a critical reader, and that I discovered that maybe only a few words can represent an entire backstory. This concludes my presentation. Thank you.